This is Jim Sawyer for Capitalism.Crisis.org. In our last episode, our zombie grandpa exclaims, "The rush demands of modern society are running ahead of our abilities to keep up." Indeed, according to our newest zombie, the paradigms, narratives, even stories used to explain how the world works ought to be scrutinized, shaken down, at times even shaken up, to assure accuracy, to assure integrity with reality, with whatever may be the actual way our world has come to work. A powerful illustration of collapsing integrity, of crass civic breakdown, is the disinformation birther campaign waged to counter reality by Donald Trump, his minions, and supporting casts of perhaps millions, aimed not just at discrediting Barack Obama alone, but indirectly also the very narrative of what America is and is becoming. Simply stated, the context is the culture wars. When civic narratives become tweaked in this manner, altered, even defiled, it's called deconstructing and reframing. That is, the message is deconstructed to highlight what one wishes to subvert, and then reframed to fit one's preferred spin regarding effective targeting of political enemies and their agendas. America's narrative, of course, is a set of interconnected narratives arising out of civic spaces throughout our land, like city halls, court chambers, and the like, with ever-expanding electronic links, television, radio, the internet, and beyond. Lies still matter here, as they did back in the day, Grandpa asserts, particularly those occurring in civic spaces especially. Often these lies distort our shared civic narrative of what we are and who we are becoming as a nation. Could it be, Grandpa ponders, our very ability to live ethically in community with others comes down to courage, to shared integrity even, to repudiate disinformation campaigns, to repudiate fake news, even pseudo-realities such as birtherism? Just then, Grandpa begins to fidget with something in his lap. Turns out it's a toy drone he just bought for one of the grandkids, and unwittingly, Grandpa starts it up as the rotors spin perilously close to his new David Letterman-style beard. Indeed, the very beard Grandma protests daily ever since Charles stopped shaving. Next, tragically, Grandpa's long whiskers get tangled in one of the rotors, and amid howling and expletives, censored here, of course, at this family-appropriate site, he finishes up with an oath of regret. "Bummer," Grandpa shrieks. "Why didn't I shave off this foul thing long ago? Why didn't I listen to Grandma's nagging?" So while he remains distracted with the beard drone thing, Zombie Professor Robinson takes up slack by picking up, then expanding also upon pieces of Grandpa's wisdom. "Well, it goes something like this," she says to her two zombie listeners, the rather focused Professor Smith and the momentarily drone-challenged Grandpa. "It's about what could be called reality-based civic ethics. Funky name, reality-based civic ethics," she muses, "but one well-suited to sorting out and casting off phony narratives, pseudo-realities, those things springing from not only the economic paradigm, but broadly from America's public spaces." It runs like this. "It is crucial to know when we don't know," says Joan. "If you don't know, but merely think you know, then you are a believer, not a knower. Honesty calls us to acknowledge we don't know when indeed we don't know, but merely believe. Recognizing that in so many aspects of life we are mere believers, not knowers, ought to make us more empathetic toward others, those like ourselves who are believers, but who don't subscribe necessarily to our particular set of beliefs." Robinson distinguishes between private belief and public knowledge. Someone may feel they know privately, but in civic spaces such as internet dialogues with opponents, one's private belief ought never to be described as knowing. Whenever we may be in such public spaces where others may not share our beliefs, our worldviews, then Grandpa's standards of civic virtuousness to which all Americans should aspire, Joan thinks, become ever more compelling. So how may we know when, indeed, we do not know? Here Robinson refers to Karl Popper, who reinforces that most propositions in civic spaces are statements of belief rather than knowledge. To qualify for the latter, a proposition must be susceptible to being refuted and possibly overturned objectively. Regarding birtherism, then, for instance, state-maintained birth records are the sufficient objective standard. Birtherism, then, is fully refutable, fully overturnable. Its claims are those of belief, not knowledge. In public spaces for democracy to function, to flourish, knowledge must take precedence over belief. Finally, Professor Robinson concludes with another thought-provoking reference to Grandpa's civic ethics. It is this, she says: "We ought to acknowledge when we live in community with others," Joan asserts, "for community may take many forms, even the form of global community. Take pandemics, for instance. When we are capable of being harmed or of harming others, even from thousands of miles away, then we have entered into some sort of community relationship, perhaps with new friends or possibly new enemies with whom previously we had no such relationship. Ebola, Robinson thinks, is such an example." Well, more to come on economics and Grandpa's reality-based civic ethics and a whole lot more. Stay tuned. This is Jim Sawyer for capitalismandcrisis.org, home of Zombienomics.